Hey folks, James from Bommer here with a brand new series where we are bringing some of our guides to life and walking you through the functionality of Bommer. This video will be an introduction to the Bommer for SOLIDWORKS plugin. By the end of this video, you will be able to add and edit properties within your BOM, filter your data, and export your data to a spreadsheet. So let's get started. The first thing you'll notice after installing Bommer, and the main part of the software that you'll interact with, is located over in the SOLIDWORKS task pane. This is where you access the Bommer live table and its associated functions. To access Bommer, make sure your SOLIDWORKS task pane is visible and press the Bommer icon. Our Bommer data is organized in a spreadsheet-like table that we call the live view. Here's also where we will do the bulk of the interaction with our data. Also, along the top of the live view is a toolbar with several functions you can use to operate Bommer. First, we're going to edit some data. I've selected a cell I want to edit in my BOM, which is the classification for the top level component of this robot assembly. I simply double click the cell and type in my edit. Then I hit enter. And the data is edited. This works very similar to popular spreadsheet software out there. The biggest difference is I just edited a SOLIDWORKS custom property directly, and that edit will be saved with the SOLIDWORKS file, and will be visible in other parts of SOLIDWORKS, or in PDM if I or my team is using it. We can also edit multiple cells at once. I'll select this whole column and start typing like before. This time, that edit applies to all the selected cells. We can easily make bulk edits to our BOM by selecting multiple cells and then typing the value we want to store in each of those cells. Bommer supports more than just text properties, and those are edited in slightly different ways. A multiple choice property, which is a text field with a range of preset values, shows up as a drop-down box. We can type into the box to find the right value or select it from a list. We can also see that the true-false properties show up as checkboxes that are true if the box is checked. All of our Bommer configuration, including what properties we are editing and displaying, can be configured in-app by using our settings form. Click the gear icon to open settings. The first tab in settings is where you configure what properties Bommer will use. This can be a mix of SOLIDWORKS custom properties, whether they be text, true, false, multiple choice, or other, and built-in values that Bommer accesses or computes when building your BOM. At the top of this screen, and each tab, is a toolbar that lets us modify that part of Bommer. To add a property, in this tab, click the plus button to display the Edit Property dialog. This dialog lets us add or edit a property definition for Bommer. Properties all have a category and a name. Each property must have a unique category and name, so if you want multiple properties named vendor, they must be in different categories. Each property also has a type, selectable from the left side of the dialog. We're going to select built-in for this new property, and then expand the drop-down box to view our list of built-in properties. We want to export the last saved by username in our BOM, so we'll select that, make sure our name and category are filled in, and then press OK to create this property. After every configuration change, you will need to press the green check mark in the toolbar to save those changes. We'll press that button and then close this form, which will update that all properties view, and here it is, added to the end. If we wanted, we also could have changed the order of this property within the edit properties form. Now, let's say that for a given step in our workflow, we don't need to see all of the data Bommer can offer. Bommer lets us customize what columns we want to see, in what order, and save those configurations in what we call views. To view your views, click on the eyeball icon in the Bommer toolbar to expand the Views menu. We have a couple already set up, but let's say we want to add another. Click Edit Views to open the View Editing screen. This screen lets us add or edit views in Bommer. Available properties are on the left, and properties in your view are on the right. Change the drop-down to New to create a new view. This clears the properties on the left side and moves them back to the Available Properties area. We can select a property on the left and click the right-facing arrow button to move it to the Selected Properties section on the right. Properties on the left are in the order defined in the Bommer Properties settings. Once they are on the right, we can drag to reorder them to the exact order we want. We'll repeat that for the properties we want to include in this view and click Save to save it. Give the new view a name and press OK, and it's saved. Now we can close this box and select the view by pressing Close and Select View, which will update our table into showing only the columns we have selected in our new view. Additionally, views will also keep track of any changes to columns that are reordered or resized from within the live view. We can also tell Bommer to select what rows we want to see. To do this, we will edit our saved filters. Find the Filter button in the Bommer toolbar and click it to expand the Filters menu. There are a lot of options here, including filtering by text input or selection, and controlling the visibility of excluded components. At the bottom of this list will be your named saved filters. We're going to add a new saved filter now. Click Edit Filters to open the Edit Filters dialog. Similar to Edit Views, there is a drop-down box that lets us select which filters to edit. We want to create a new filter, so we will make sure it says New. To add a filter part, click the plus button. This will pull up the Edit Filter Part form where we can select the Bomber property we want to search in, an operator, equals or not equals, and the value we want to filter on. We're going to select Category for the property and enter Cockpit for the value to see all of the parts that go into the cockpit of this robot. Press OK to save that filter part, and then press Save to save this filter. Like with our new view, we need to give this filter a name, and then we can press Close and Apply Filter to apply the filter to our table. We can now see only the rows in our table that have a category value of Cockpit. By default, Bommer will display rows for which this filter will pass, meaning rows that have the specified text in the selected column. But there is an option in the Filters menu to invert the selected filter. This filter and others that you have saved can be enabled or disabled in the Filter menu, or by clicking the Clear Filter button that is now visible in the Bommer toolbar. Now, we want to export our data to an Excel spreadsheet. Bommer has 3 different ways to export data. Export a spreadsheet with the same name and file location as your top-level component, export a spreadsheet to a file of your choosing, and export and send a spreadsheet, which starts an email with the BOM attached. Here, we're going to export to a file of our choosing. Click on the middle Export button to open the export form. There are a few options on this form. You can tell Bommer to use the current view or all properties, or to use the current visible rows, which respects the applied filter, or all rows. There's also a drop-down box for export templates. We will cover this in a later video. The defaults on this screen look good, so we'll press OK. Bommer will then ask for a file name, which we have Movie Magic sped through, and once the file has been saved, we're asked if we want to open it. Bommer will automatically open the file in Excel or another spreadsheet application that is configured on your PC. And as you can see, all of the data from our BOM is accurately exported to our spreadsheet, including the part thumbnails. If you had resized any column within the live view, Bommer will set the sizes of the column in your spreadsheet to match. Well, that's it for this guide, folks. I will include some useful links in the description below, but thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@bommer.io or leave a comment in the video. As always though, have an awesome day.